And we are live. At least I think so. Yeah, we're live. Just a quick one, really. Good solid weekend of boxing just gone. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Several fights that really entertained me during this weekend, man. We had Briedis versus Dorticos, Charlo versus Derevyanchenko, Charlo Rosario, obviously the Josh Taylor fight as well. Some really good action this weekend, man. Really, really good action. Best weekend, obviously, post-pandemic or post-lockdown, whatever you want to call it. And yeah, man, it was good to see some real World Championship boxing. Really, really enjoyed it, man. But yeah, this is just going to be a relatively quick one, I would say. We'll see how it goes, but relatively quick, man. 1 second. Let me just get my shit sorted. Let's get this shit sorted. Yo, Big Dan. Big Dan. What's going on, man? Man like Jim McDonald. Big up to yourself. Big up to yourself. Yeah, Dan, man. Excellent weekend of boxing. Excellent weekend. Fight of the night for me was Charlo Derevyanchenko. Excellent fight, man. That fight delivered for me. No controversy. You know, it was a relatively clean fight, good action. Both guys were hurt. Charlo was hurt in round 8, so was Derevyanchenko. Derevyanchenko was also hurt in round 3, I believe. That was a really good fight. Charlo Rosario kind of went how I expected it to. Obviously, the knockout was a bit weird, but I picked Charlo to win that fight by knockout relatively late. But yeah, man, really good weekend. Cudsy, big up to Cudsy in the chat as well. Jay Bilo, big up to you, sir. Big up to you. Have you seen the footage of Rosario passing out in the corner of the round before he got knocked out? I saw something on Twitter where some guy said it looked like he fell asleep. I found it kind of hard to see. You know, sometimes maybe he was just closing his eyes, trying to focus, trying to regain his equilibrium because he got he got dropped badly in round 6. Maybe he was still suffering from that. Yeah, he looked in bad shape, to be honest. He looked in bad shape. Justin Marcial, Julio Cesar Martinez for next, Pancho Villa. I like Martinez, Justin. I like Martinez a lot. He's a very good fighter. I love his style of fighting. He's aggressive, pressure fighter, hand speed, leads with power shots. Julio Cesar Martinez is a very good fighter. Very good fighter. Big up to MB. He says, what's up, Dell? I thought the first half of the card was better. I agree, MB. I do agree. I really enjoyed that Casemiro-Mika fight. It only lasted 3 rounds, obviously, but Casemiro is a very exciting fighter. One of the most exciting fighters in boxing. And credit to Duke Mika, that guy actually came to fight. You know, he was throwing hard power shots, trying to match Casemiro. But that was probably a bad idea, to be honest. Standing there trading with a power puncher like Casemiro, not the wisest of decisions. And I think his inexperience showed by doing that. But he came to fight, he showed heart. But Casemiro, man, just too much. And obviously Vasquez versus Figueroa, that fight was a lot better than I expected. I didn't actually see all of that fight. I was kind of drifting in and out. But what I saw was very good. So yeah, man. Yeah, I saw that, Kudzi, yeah. I saw that. Maybe I was wrong about accusing Rosario of taking a dive. Not necessarily taking a dive as in diving for money. I'm not saying that. I was kind of thinking that maybe he kind of found the canvas because he just didn't want any more. Because he done something similar in the Nathaniel Gallimore fight where he was kind of hitting the deck far too easily and it looked like he wanted out of that fight. So maybe I was just judging him on that previous fight. But yeah, he had success in that fight, but Charlo was always in control for me. He was always the boss in that fight. Just my opinion. But yeah, I was impressed with both Charlos. Both came out strong and they got the wins. Jermell Charlo, most definitely the best fighter, or the number 1 fighter, I should say, at 154 pounds. I think he's proved that now. He's got 3 of the 4 titles. He just needs that WBO now. If he can get that title, he would have really cleaned out 154. The only other name really knocking about is Erislandy Lara, maybe Jarrett Hurd. But those guys aren't exactly looking great right now. So if I was Charlo, get the WBO and then maybe move up to 160. Yeah, I agree, MB. Yeah, Casemiro's really turned his career around. Casemiro's a very good fighter, though. He's a free weight world champion, beating guys like Zolane Tete, you know. Very good fighter, man. Very good fighter. Yo, shout out to Unrivaled Boxing Talk and News, and congrats for hitting 3K as well, mate. Congrats. Definitely well deserved, man. You put in some work this weekend, bruv. You put in some work this weekend. Yeah, the Charlos are very tough, Chief Red. Very, very tough. Jamel, to me, he's shown that in a lot of fights, Jamel Charlo. That Tony Harrison rematch, he was taking some big shots, kept on marching forwards, and he knocked out Tony Harrison. He did the same against Jason Rosario. Jamel is very tough, and as is Jamal. I was really impressed with Jamal in that Derevianchenko fight. He showed great poise. His jab was excellent throughout. He actually really impressed me on the inside as well. I know when it was on the inside, Derevianchenko was maybe outworking Charlo, but Charlo was still landing some killer shots on the inside to body and head. That uppercut through the middle was exceptional. Yeah, Charlo really impressed me. Both guys did. Both Charlos really impressed me. I was more impressed with Jamal because I was expecting Jamal to come through. Whereas Jamal, I thought he was going to have a really hard night. A really hard night. But you know what, man? He done his thing. And that's all we can ask for. You know, I've been critical of Jamal Charlo, but it was only because he's not really fought anybody at middleweight. He fought somebody on Saturday and he come through with flying colours. So I'm not one of these people who's going to sit here and continue to hate on the guy or critique the guy. No, he gave me something I wanted. So Jamal Charlo, you're in my good books right now. Fair play to Jamal Charlo. The only thing I'll say with Jamal right now, I want him to build on this. You know, make the most of this momentum and really start forging a legacy at 160. Because I think Jamal Charlo can certainly beat someone like Demetrius Andrade. I really do. I really do. That performance was very good. Oh, Jay Belo, yeah, I've seen those fucking adverts on IFL TV, those Det KO adverts. That's the weirdest fucking advert I've ever seen, with Kugan Cassius doing the voiceover. Like, that is some creepy shit, you know. Yeah, lad. Yeah, knock your debt out with Det KO, 100%, man, 100%. Yo, big up to Adam Moore in the chat. Baby G Camacho, yeah, Charlo definitely rearranged Chenko's face. That jab was cutting him up, bro. Like, my man was in there looking like Freddy Krueger, slicing Derevianchenko up. Do you know what I mean? Looked like a Halloween movie or a bloody Nightmare on Elm Street movie. Yeah, man, Charlo did the business, man. He did the business. And that whole card by the PBC, I've got to say, man, thoroughly enjoyable. Thoroughly enjoyable. Piano versus Danny Roman was also a good fight. Yeah, man, that card top to bottom really delivered. The only fight I've not seen yet is the Lewis Neri fight. I've been told that fight was quite close, but I'll need to see it. I'll need to see it, man. I thoroughly enjoyed it, though, man. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Yeah, and even like Briedis versus Dorticos as well. Again, that was another fight I really enjoyed. Not quite the barn burner that some people thought it would be, but I thought Briedis boxed a really, really good fight. When he boxes in his rhythm, he's thoroughly enjoyable to watch. His timing, his footwork, you know, his accuracy, punch placement. Briedis is very good when he's on form. And Dorticos, you know, Dorticos fought the best fight he could. He was trying to apply pressure. His jab was pretty good. But, you know, he was just a bit too one-dimensional for Mairis Briedis. And Briedis got the win, you know. Briedis got the win. So, yeah, that fight didn't really surprise me. But I was still impressed with Briedis' performance. And hopefully now we can see Briedis fight someone like Ilunga Makabu at cruiserweight. I think that'd be a very good fight. That'd be a very good fight. Big up to Michael Van Gerwen. Fresh out of from playing darts. Big up to Michael Van Gerwen. Yeah, I agree, JB Low. Yeah, even Tony Yoka fought this weekend. And by the way, the Tony Yoka fight's weird because obviously Tony Yoka, he knocked out Johan Duhaupas in one round. However, that fight has now been removed by BoxRec due to a problem with the actual show that fight took place on. Apparently, there was some money issue with the show. And as a result, it's been removed off BoxRec. I'm not sure whether that's going to be removed from his professional record or whether it's temporary until they sort this financial thing out. I'm not sure what's happened there, but, you know, hopefully they get that amended soon. because Tony Yoka done his thing, man. You know, maybe Duhaupas is past his best. He certainly is. But, you know, that's still a statement, considering the guy went 11 rounds with Deontay Wilder. He knocked out Robert Helenius, went the distance with Jarrell Miller, took Povetkin 6 rounds to knock him out. Tony Yoka knocking out Duhaupas in 1 round is still a statement. Even if he is past his best now, it's still a statement. Yeah, big up to Jazz. Thank you very much for the super chat. Much appreciated, brother. You've been going hard, man, so much appreciated. Really do appreciate it, bruv. Adam Moore, he says, are you watching Liverpool versus Arsenal to Big Dan? As for me, I'll probably watch it in the background. I might switch it on in a bit. Is it on Sky? I think it's on Sky, isn't it? Yeah, I'll probably give it a watch. MMA champ for GOAT, big up to you, man. Not seen you here before, I don't think. I've seen you here before, so welcome. His pound-for-pound list: Canelo 1, Crawford 2, Loma 3, Inoue 4, Usyk 5, Taylor 6, Joshua 7, Pacquiao 8, Casemiro 9, Jamel 10. Yeah, man, I wouldn't argue, mate. I'm not one of these guys who necessarily makes pound-for-pound lists. I don't think I've ever made one, actually. I might have to make one for a video, a pound-for-pound list. I might have to make one. The only thing with my list, I wouldn't put heavyweights in there. That's the only thing. But yeah, man, I've never been a pound-for-pound guy in terms of making my own list. Me personally, I've always been more interested in who's the best in each division kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? But each to his own. Each to his own. It's good that you're giving Casemiro some love, man. No doubt. No doubt. Jazz 11. Who you got, Jazza Dickens or Ryan Walsh, mate? I think Walsh punches hard and probably lands a counter shot on the come forward Jazza Dickens. I agree, Jazz. I think Ryan Walsh is a very good fighter. I think he's better than domestic level. I would say Ryan Walsh is European level, and maybe Jazza Dickens is too. That's a really, really good fight. Really good fight. It's going to be competitive, but I think Ryan Walsh is going to have too much, to be honest. I think Ryan Walsh is going to have too much. And O'Hara Davis versus Tyrone McKenna is on the same card on Wednesday. That's a really good midweek card right there. You've got O'Hara Davis versus Tyrone McKenna. You've got Ryan Walsh versus Jazza Dickens. And also Liam Conroy versus Sergey Michel, I believe. That's a really good card on a midweek. Really good card. Justin Martial, he's got Arsenal. He's got Arsenal beating Liverpool. Do you know what, Justin? I hope Arsenal do win. I hope Arsenal do win. No offence to any Liverpool fans here, but we are supporting Arsenal tonight. Supporting Arsenal. Big up to Adam Scott. He says, evening, Del. I really think Tony Yoka is going to win a belt. He already beats the likes of White easily. Damn. That's a bold prediction. Tony Yoka's certainly talented, though. He's got the Olympic pedigree, the amateur pedigree. He's relatively fast. He's athletic, puts his shots together well, and he's got good boxing ability. You know, fucking hell, made me jump. Tony Yoka's definitely a A-level prospect in the heavyweight division. Yeah, I was surprised he knocked out. Duhaupas in 1 round. Very surprised. Is that a fake Big Dan who just got? Okay. That's weird, man. That's weird. That shit always confuses me. Chief Red, do you think Plant could outbox Canelo or Benavidez for 12 rounds? To be honest with you, Chief Red, I would certainly favour Canelo to beat Plant. I think Plant's boxing, his back foot boxing, could give Canelo problems in the first few rounds. But once Caleb Plant starts to slow, you know, I would say Canelo gets to him. As for Benavidez, I'm really high on Benavidez, pardon the pun, because the guy's a cokehead. But the thing with Benavidez is his lack of professionalism right now. Missing weight in his last fight, getting banned for cocaine use. You know, they're not good signs. But I think Benavidez is a very good fighter. If he gets his shit together, I think he could drown Caleb Plant, because Caleb Plant, in my opinion, in the Porky Medina fight and also the Uskatigi fight, he gassed late on in those fights. Benavidez brings a lot more pressure than those guys. He's a lot bigger, he throws a lot more punches, and he hits harder. I think Benavidez would drown Caleb Plant late on in that fight if it happened. I do like Benavidez. It's just hard to get behind him right now due to his antics, I guess. But it's a very good fight. It's a very good fight. See, that's the fight I'd love to see happen. Benavidez versus Plant. That's a great fight. It's an excellent fight. That's what we need in boxing right now. That's what we need right now. Big up to Shepherd of Sons. Big up to Ian Ward. Big up to Kevin Ide as well. Danilo D. He says, even though Jamal beat Derevyanchenko, I still give Sergey the best chance to beat Canelo out of all of the middleweights. I'm not sure, Danilo, man. I'm not sure. I think the guy's taken too much punishment in his last 4 fights. The Golovkin fight was very hard. Jamal Charlo put a bit of a hiding on him. The Cole Kai fight was hard. And even the Danny Jacobs fight. I think you might have seen the best of Derevyanchenko now, to be honest. I think you might have seen the best of him. Yeah, I heard that Ian Ward. Apparently, Adrian Broner is fighting Ivan Redkach. At this stage, that could be relatively competitive, to be honest. Could be a pretty fun fight. The thing is with Adrian Broner can be in good fights if he's matched correctly. Broner basically is a B-level fighter, a C-level fighter. When he fights guys along his level, guys like Granados, guys like Jesse Vargas, he makes for good fights. They were both very good fights. If he fights those sort of guys, he can still be entertaining. It's when you put Broner in there with an elite level guy, he shows up, doesn't throw punches, and that's it, That's the thing with Broner right now. They've got to realise his level. He's a C-class, B-class fighter. That's what he is. Chuck him in there with Josecito Lopez. That would be a good fight as well. These are the sort of guys Broner should really be fighting right now, in my opinion. Cokehead Benavidez versus Clenbuterol Canelo. Who wins? I would favour Canelo, to be honest, based on experience, superior boxing skills. But Benavidez, man, he's a big lump. He throws a lot of punches. He's very active. But you've got to favour Canelo in that fight. You've got to favour Canelo. The only person who I would confidently pick to beat Canelo is the guy on the screen right now, Artur Beterbiev, and that's at light heavyweight. I think a lot of people now they're gonna struggle to beat Canelo, to be honest. You're going to struggle to beat him. Jay Bilo, I've heard channels saying Charlo should be pound for pound after the Rosario win. I personally wouldn't put him on there, but the guy's resume is pretty tight at 154. It has to be said. Harrison, Rosario, Martelosian, Rosado, Lubin, Austin Trout. The guy's fought some pretty good guys at 154. His resume is pretty tight, to be honest. I have to say, his resume is not bad at all. I've said on this channel before, though, I've always rated Jamal Charlo. I like Jamal Charlo. It was Jamal Charlo that I had the problem with because he wasn't fighting anybody. But he's done that this weekend, He's given me a fight I cared about, and it was a great fight. So both Charlos right now, listen, they're in my good books. I've got nothing bad to say about the Charlos right now. Paulo Costa was terrible, D. I was shocked. I was shocked to see so many people picking Costa to win that fight. I picked Izzy to win that fight by, I think it was a 4th round stoppage. I thought he was going to gas out Paulo, then take him out with his precise striking. But now he didn't even gas out Paulo. He just fucked him up. Yeah, I'm not surprised, Bodie. I'm not surprised at all. I was just surprised to see so many people pick Costa to win, to be honest. But there we go. It is what it is. It is what it is. By the way, lads, smash the like. This ain't going to be a long one, by the way. Yeah, both Charlos had great wins, Baby G. Both Charlos had great wins. Like I said, with Jamal Charlo, hopefully now he just builds on it, get some more solid fights under his belt. There was talking about a Chris Eubank Jr. fight next. That's probably not the fight fans want to see per se, but it's a decent enough fight. I wouldn't mind that fight. But, based on Jamal's performance, I think Eubank Jr. needs to stay well away from Charlo because that's going to be a replay of the Groves fight. Jamal was just going to be jabbing his nut in for 12 rounds, catching him with right hands, keeping him on the outside. Jamal would outbox Eubank Jr. I don't think he'd stop him because Eubank is tough, but yeah, I see Jamal outboxing Eubank comprehensively, to be honest. Diobli Nui, he says, who at 154 has great boxing skills and a good chin, that person could beat Charlo? To be honest, D, I don't see anybody beating Charlo at 154. If Erislandy Lara was fresher, maybe he would have a chance. But he's on the slide now, in my opinion. You've got Brian Castano. I think Castano would give him problems on the inside. But again, Jamel is just so much bigger, so much stronger, and he's a tough old boy himself. So listen, man, I think Jamel beats everyone at 154 right now. Everybody. Jamel is he's a force at 154. There's no doubt about it. No doubt about it. The Shepherd of Suns, Rosario's body is softer than an overripe banana. Jesus. Danilo D, who's going to be dominating middleweights in 5 years' time? It's hard to say, Danilo. There's not exactly many young prospects at middleweight right now, to be honest. There's not exactly any young guys coming through who look like real quality. Big up to John Gonzalez as well. G-Man Boxing as well. Nice of you guys to drop by. Danilo D, he says Madrimov has a good chance against Jamel. I'm not sure about Madrimov. I think he's too green. He needs to I think Madrimov needs to really kind of adjust his style. He is very he's got like a freestyle style, if that makes sense. He does what he wants in there. He throws random combinations, leads with power shots. He jumps in, he lunges in. He takes a lot of risks. Right now, I think he's too green for Jamel Charlo. Madrimov needs to get behind his boxing a little bit more. Don't lose that natural aggressive behavior, but he needs to just tone it in a little bit because the guy uses a lot of unnecessary movements. He gets gassed out. I think Jamel would beat Madrimov right now. I've got to be honest. Yeah, Kisniak from the Ukraine. Yeah, that's one good middleweight prospect right there, Danilo D. But yeah, I was under the assumption that he was still in the amateurs. Oh, he's going to go pro soon. Okay. But yeah, Kisniak could be a very good prospect when he turns pro, no doubt. Adam Scott, he rated Jarrett Hurd very highly until he got beat down by J-Rock. Yeah, J-Rock put a clinic on him that night, and Hurd hasn't looked the same since, to be honest. He's looked really, really flat. I think that fight took a lot out of him. But, you know, Jarrett Hurd has a face-first style, man, so he's always going to have a short shelf life kind of thing. So that doesn't really surprise me that Jarrett Hurd doesn't look good right now. I think he needs to move up as well, to be honest. He needs to move to middleweight, Jarrett Hurd. He kills himself to make that weight. Absolutely kills himself. One of the biggest junior middleweights I've ever seen, Jarrett Hurd. How that guy made weight is beyond me. It's crazy. Crazy, man. Yeah, exactly, D. That's the thing with his style. That's the thing. Jarrett Hurd's always going to be one of those guys who doesn't really stick around that long unless he's got like freakish genetics and a freakish chin. He ain't going to stick around. You need some Chavez Senior chin or some Jake LaMotta chin to kind of carry that style out for a long period of time. And yeah, D, you're right. Tony Harrison could be the best pure boxer at 154. His jab is beautiful, man. He's got great feet, good combinations, nice timing. Tony Harrison's a really, really good boxer. He really is, man. But like you say, it's his chin and, in my opinion, his gas tank that kind of let him down. Julian Williams, I would say, is another one. I actually think Julian Williams is a really skilled boxer. I love watching him fight. I love his technique, love his body work. Julian Williams is another really good fighter, but again, with a dodgy chin. Danilo D, if Ramirez beats Taylor, you think Lomachenko should move up and fight him? He beat him in the amateurs. Yeah, Danilo, if Lomachenko beats Teofimo and Ramirez actually beats Taylor, why not? Why not just give it a go? Take a risk, do it. Why not? If you won that fight, then that's a massive win. Roll the dice, fuck it. Lomachenko's got the skills to maybe do it. It's just whether he can keep him at bay and box around him. I'd watch it. Immortal Moomin. Delboy, forgive me, but that damn Gino and Adesanya is going crazy. Yeah, a lot of people were saying that apparently, potential PED use, but, you know, look at the guy who was fighting, Paulo Costa. That guy is a juice monkey, in my opinion. That guy looked very juiced up. But yeah, man. Yeah, I agree, G-Man. Yeah, Hurd can't move to 160. He'll get wrecked. But 154, he's not beating Charlo. Yeah, that's the thing with Jarrett Hurd. He's kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place because at 160, his physical advantages are going to be depleted. He's not going to have that size advantage. And at 154, he can't beat Charlo. So yeah, Jarrett Hurd is kind of fucked right now, to be honest. Jarrett Hurd is kind of messed up right now. Yeah, you need a Golovkin chin, exactly, Adam Scott. Yeah. Big up to the pigeon in the chat. Big up to the pigeon. Hopefully you're doing well, brother. Hopefully you're doing well. Yes, Charlo was very solid at 160. Yeah, very solid. He looked massive compared to Derevianchenko. His back looked strong. He was holding Derevianchenko off and basically outmanning him. Yeah, Jamal Charlo looked very strong in there. Very strong. He's a big middleweight, Jamal Charlo. How that guy made 154, I'll never know. Because he's not small at middleweight. He really isn't. He's not small at middleweight. Looks like Kell Brook is fighting Crawford. Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, November 14th, apparently, that fight's going to happen. I don't think it's been officially signed yet, but yeah, it looks like it's going to go down November 14th. I mean, not really the fight I want to see, but at the same time, it's better than Crawford versus Khan or Crawford versus Benavidez. It's better than that, so I'll take it at this point with Crawford. I'll take it. Maybe Kell Brook can get down to 147 and have one more kind of good performance. We'll see. But yeah, I know what you mean, Adam. It's not really the fight we want to see, is it? Not really the fight we want to see right now. But there we go. It is what it is. You got to take what you can get sometimes in life. And I'll take it. I'll take it. Yes, big up to Baby G Camacho. Greetings, new here. Tio versus Lomachenko. Who wins in your opinion? I think it's come a little too soon for Teofimo Camacho. I think it's come a little too soon. Teofimo is a very good counterpuncher, but he's a counterpuncher who doesn't necessarily set traps. He's a counterpuncher who waits till you make a mistake. Problem being, if you don't make a mistake, I think the guy's going to really struggle. Lomachenko is going to give him the angles for feints, for foot movement, the in and out kind of style. I think it could kind of befuddle Teofimo. I think he might struggle in this fight, just based on inexperience, to be honest. But yeah, I'm going with Lomachenko on points. I would say Lomachenko on points. I think Teofimo could be waiting too long in that fight. Basically biting on every single feint that Lomachenko throws. And as a result, he's not going to be working himself. He's going to be overthinking it in there. That's one thing Teofimo cannot do against Lomachenko. I know it's tempting, but he needs to go in there and basically try to bully Loma, in my opinion. He's the bigger, younger, stronger man with punching power. He needs to get up in Lomachenko's grill, change his style up a little bit, and really try and bully him. That's what I think he needs to do, personally. But I don't think he will for some reason. I think he's going to be looking for that one shot to put him away. But maybe he'll prove me wrong. He's a good fighter. He's very talented, in my opinion. He's got a lot of upside. So maybe he can prove me wrong. Yeah, I agree, Pigeon. I would tend to agree. Kell Brook's career is done. I don't see him doing nothing in the Crawford fight, whereas the fight being staged, it's going to go down in America, apparently, if it does get signed, Las Vegas. So yeah, I know what you mean, Pigeon. I know what you mean. If Brook could get back to his best, I think he would give Crawford real problems based on Crawford's style. Because Crawford, when he throws combos, he kind of squares up sometimes and throws like wide punches. Against a straight, accurate counterpuncher like Kell Brook, that could be a problem. But I'm not convinced that Kell Brook has 12 rounds in him at 147. He might have 3 or 4 good rounds in him in that fight. So yeah, I think Brook's going to get broken down in that fight. He's going to get broken down. Adam Scott, he might have beaten Spence if he hadn't got his eye socket blown out by Golovkin. Yeah, that's the thing, man. I mean, he was very competitive with Errol Spence for like the first 6 rounds or so. He was very competitive, arguably winning. But yeah, Errol just got on top of him, caused some damage, and that was really it. I think that fight would have been very hard to begin with, to be honest, for Kell Brook. Sorry, yeah, it would have been hard anyway for Kell Brook, even if he hadn't fought Golovkin, because Brook has struggled with pressure in the past. We saw that with Carson Jones, for example. You can get to Kell Brook, and I think Errol Spence, even with Kell Brook at his best, would always be a hard style for Brook. To be honest, just my opinion. I know a lot of people like to say Brook would have scored Spence if he wasn't injured or he didn't go up to middleweight. I'm not entirely convinced by that, to be honest. Maybe it would have been more competitive, but would he have necessarily beaten Spence even at his best? I'm not sure about that, to be honest. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. Yeah, Colin, I agree. Brook had a good career, but there's too many miles on the clock now. Yeah, I know. Yeah, Brook, to me, man, he made his money. He beat Porter. He had that Golovkin fight. He made his money, but I just really wanted more from Kell Brook. I thought the guy was exceptionally talented, but he never made the most of it, basically. Too much sitting around fighting guys like Joe Dodan, Kevin Bizier. He didn't live a life outside the ring. I think Kell Brook has wasted his potential, wasted his talent, and it's a shame. It really is a shame. But what can you do? What can you do? It's one of those things, isn't it? Briedis put on a boxing clinic in the second half of that Dorticos fight. Not enough people just saying how good the second half of that fight was. Yeah, Briedis was very good against Dorticos. He was very good. First sort of 4 rounds were relatively competitive. Dorticos was applying good pressure. His jab was landing. He landed a couple of good right hands here and there. But after like round 4, I felt Briedis just took over and he started to like completely outbox Dorticos. That's how I saw it anyway. Building a good resume at cruiserweight. He's building a good resume, man. Okay, where are we at? Briedis should be top 10 pound for pound, in your opinion? He needs a couple wins, I think. Briedis. He needs a couple wins. Makabu, that'd be a good fight for him. Who's there? Makabu. Yeah, Makabu, Gulamarian, these sort of names Briedis could fight. As for Dorticos, I don't want to see Dorticos retire. The commentary team, I was watching the Zone feed, and the commentary team was saying that Dorticos was considering retiring after this fight. I don't think he should. I still think he's got fights left in him. I would love to see Dorticos versus Gulamarian. That'd be a bloody barn burner. If you've seen Gulamarian fight and you've seen Dorticos fight, that would be a fucking barn burner. So Dorticos still has fights left at cruiserweight if he wants to stick around. And as for Briedis, like I said, he himself can fight Gulamarian, Makabu, the Akole versus Glowacki winner. All of those fights are there for Briedis. Maybe even try and go up to heavyweight. Give that a go. Who knows? Why not? Why not? He has done quite a bit at cruiserweight, Briedis, no doubt. What's your thoughts on McGregor versus Pacquiao? To be honest, Ian, I won't blame Manny for taking that fight, but me personally, I don't really have any interest, to be honest. It'll be a bit of a spectacle, I'll probably watch it on the day. I won't pay for it, though. I definitely won't pay for it. Remember when Briedis was Bellew's mandatory? Shame we never got that fight. Yeah, exactly, G-Man. Yeah, because Briedis actually fought in the UK against Simon Vallily. They put him on a Sky undercard. I forgot what fight it was on the undercard of, but they made Briedis versus Vallily on an undercard to basically try and sell Briedis to the British public. But yeah, that fight never happened. If that fight did happen, I think you can't look past Briedis winning that fight. I think he'd have knocked Tony Bellew out. I think he would have beaten Tony Bellew. Bellew might have given him problems early on, similar to like how he did Usyk. But listen, man, Briedis is a higher level fighter than Tony Bellew. It's just that simple. He's of a much higher standard. Briedis is a very good fucking fighter. Yeah, exactly, Chief Red. Gervonta Davis could be another one. He's a guy I rate highly in terms of like raw potential, speed, power. Gervonta Davis has a lot of tools, a lot of upside, but he doesn't live a life outside the ring, man. He puts on weight, he drinks, gets himself in trouble. his head doesn't seem to be screwed on. If you could have like Terence Crawford's mindset in Gervonta Davis's body, that guy would be a hell of a fighter. I'm telling you, he would be a hell of a fighter. But it's very rare that you're going to get a guy with every single ingredient. Do you know what I mean? You're always going to be lacking in something, and Tank lacks in mindset and mentality, in my opinion. Yeah, I agree. Bellew would have got knocked out. Yeah, I agree. Okay, G-Man. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, it was on the undercard of Bellew Flores. Yeah, that was it. I remember now. See, that's why it's good to have you guys here, man, because my memory these days is terrible. But yeah, he put a beating on poor old Simon Vallily, didn't he? Old Briadis. He put a beating on the lad. But yeah, man, I love watching Briadis fight, by the way. I love watching Briadis fight. He's got a beautiful style, man. I said it on Twitter, yeah. The guy is so hot and cold. When he's cold, he can be horrible to watch, like the Perez fight, like the Givor fight. He can be really horrible to watch. But when that guy is on form, he boxes in the most beautiful rhythm you'll see. His feet are beautiful. His feint game, he feints with his hands, his head, his eyes, his shoulders, his hips and his legs. You can feint with your eyes, believe it or not. And Briadis' feint game is out of this world. He is a master boxer. He is tremendously talented. One of my favourite technicians in the sport, Mairis Briadis. I love that guy when he's on form. Just hot and cold. Yeah, exactly, Pigeon. I wish we got that fight. Yeah, maybe Bellew could get the distance, Pigeon. Maybe. But Briadis does hit very hard. He hits very hard. Yeah, MB, that's another thing with Briadis. He's a beautiful boxer, but he is very crafty with the use of elbows and hits low. Yeah, he does. He hits on the break as well. Yeah, he can get very dirty, Briadis, no doubt. Other thing missing from Tank is subtitles when he speaks. I won't disagree. I will not disagree. Yeah, I agree, Lewis. Yeah, Briadis can be very dirty as well. Yep. Yeah, that's another thing I like about Briadis, actually. You put up a really good point there, Lewis. When somebody's being dirty to Briadis, he's not one of these guys who turns around to the ref and says, "Oi, ref, this guy's hitting me low." Now, this guy will just fucking hit you low back. Briadis is a tough boy, man. He's a tough old boy. How would Costa Tszyu do at 140? Today's 140 division, I think Costa Tszyu would beat Jose Ramirez. Would he beat Josh Taylor? You could get to Costa Tszyu, but Costa Tszyu straight punching against Josh Taylor. You could see Josh walking into something, to be honest. Do you know what? I think I would favour Costa Tszyu against both Ramirez, Prograis, and Taylor. But I think the Taylor fight would be very hard. I wouldn't be surprised if Taylor beat him, to be honest. But yeah, Costa Tszyu would do very well in today's 140 division, in my opinion. And that pains me to say it because Josh Taylor is one of my favourite fighters. Probably my second favourite fighter after Beterbiev, Josh Taylor. Big up to St. Brit Sports. Shout out to you, sir. Loving the avatar. And check out St. Brit Sports' channel, by the way. Check out his channel. Man like St. Brit Sports. Oh, fuck off, man. Do you know what? Nobody has ever rung my landline for like 2 years since I've been here. That is mad, bruv. That is mad. I can't even see who it is, Yeah, I don't know who that is. I'm going to leave it, Shall we speak through it? Fuck it. So professional. So professional. Yeah, it might be track and trace. Yo, Colin. No bird is ever hitting me up on my landline. No way. That's the first landline call I've ever had since I've been here. Jesus Christ. I'll keep it muted while it rings out because I've got no fucking clue who this is. Yeah, that's stopped now. I've not even set an answer phone on this phone. I've never been called on it. That's mad. She's 65, looking for a young stud. Jesus Christ. Christ. But yeah, big up MMA Champ for Go. I'll check out your live stream, mate. I'll check out your channel. Sorry, I'll check it out. Yeah, exactly, Adam Scott. Yeah, that was a very good win, but Costa Tszyu wasn't in his prime. That does have to be said. It does have to be said. 65 wanting a young stud. Jesus Christ. I'd rather go without, mate. I'd rather go without. It's saying Brit, he's trolling. He knows no bounds. Yeah, exactly. Shit. Gee, I don't even know why I've got a landline here, to be honest with you. I'd never fucking use it. There we go. That's nice of you, man. MMA Champ the Goat. That is very nice of you. That's very nice of you. I couldn't do that though, man. I couldn't take that for free though, mate. I do appreciate it though. I really do. What's the score in this Arsenal game quickly? Let's have a quick look. Let's have a quick look. 0-0, okay. We haven't missed anything. That's good. That's good. Okay. Yeah, we've not missed anything. That's good. Arsenal getting gangbanged? Okay. Yeah, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. I'm surprised Liverpool not scored yet, to be honest. Surprised. Yeah, the golden contract. That's on Wednesday, mate. But yeah, it's Wednesday, the golden contract, Colin. It's a really good card. It's a really, really good card. You've got O'Hara Davis, Tyrone McKenna, Ryan Walsh versus Jazza Dickens, and Liam Conroy versus what's his face, Serge Michel. That's a really good card. It's a really good card. For a Wednesday night card, you can't complain. That's better than a lot of regular Sky cards, to be honest, put on by Matchroom. Because O'Hara Davis versus McKenna, that's competitive. And Ryan Walsh versus Jazza Dickens, that's basically 50-50. So yeah. Yeah. Yes, big up to Nordic Warrior, man. Hopefully you're doing well. Hopefully you're keeping well, man. Yo, Colin, I wish today was fucking Tuesday. I bloody wish. It's only a Monday, man. The weekend went far too quick, man. It went far too quick. It's crazy. Yeah, I agree, Colin. I agree. I don't see Tyrone doing it, to be honest, against O'Hara Davis. Not that O'Hara Davis is great. He's not. We all know O'Hara Davis's limitations, but Tyrone McKenna, for such a tall, rangy guy, he doesn't keep range. His foot movement's poor. He gets into the pocket and he trades. I think O'Hara Davis has got too much power for that, to be honest. I think he's got too much power. I don't see him doing it. I really don't. I think it'll be a good fight while it lasts, though. Davis, like I said, Davis isn't exactly the best fighter in the world, is he? So McKenna's going to have success. I'm just not convinced that he can take that power. I mean, he got dropped a couple of times by Jack Catterall and was really feeling those shots. So against someone like O'Hara Davis, who, for all of his faults, he can genuinely punch, I think O'Hara's going to knock him out, to be honest. O'Hara's got heavy hands. He definitely has heavy hands. Oh, is it 1-0 to Arsenal? You're joking, Adam Scott. You're joking. 1-0 to the Arsenal? There we go. Is it 1? Oh, well. If it's true, that's good. Pigeon's had to disconnect his landline. I keep on getting rude messages from Kelly Maloney. Oh, Christ. Good old Kelly. David Price turned him into a tranny. That's the power of David Price's right hand. But yeah, that's crazy, man. Oh, okay. So it looks like Arsenal have actually scored. There we go. There we go. Oh, you guys are too funny, man. You guys are too funny. Yo, big up to Johnny Boy, man. Nice of you to be here, bruv. Nice of you to be here, cuz. Hopefully you enjoyed the boxing this weekend, man. I've seen your Charlo video. Well summarized. I was thoroughly I was satisfied with what I got this weekend from the boxing. I was expecting some kind of fuckery, to be honest with you. But to my surprise, we didn't get any, and it was a really good card. As well as Briedis versus Dorticos as well. Really good weekend of boxing. Really good weekend of boxing. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Thoroughly enjoyed it. And you know, the Charlos personally, they're not my cup of tea per se. But you know, when they do something good, I'll give them credit. And yeah, they were both good fights. They were both good fights. Oh, Lacazette scored. Okay. Okay, fair play to Arsenal. Arsenal these days, you know, they look a lot better defensively under Arteta. They seem a lot more solid. They've got a bit more backbone about them. Arteta's definitely doing a good job there so far. Definitely doing a good job. Yeah, I'm the same, Johnny. I feel the same way about the Charlos. I like Jamel Charlo more than Jamal. I always have. I like Jamel as a fighter. I really like watching him fight. But personally, I'm not a fan of either guy. But yeah, man, they put on a show this weekend. They put on a show this weekend, and that's all you can really ask for. That's all you can really ask for. Yo, Glenn, you can try again, man. I mean, if you got beef with people in the chat, then, you know, keep that between you two. If you want to talk boxing, you can talk boxing, cuz. It's not a problem. Yeah, Bolotniks beat up Hosea Burton. Yeah, Bolotniks really put a beating on that boy, especially late on. That ninth round was savage by Bolotniks, pushing him back, walking him down. You know, yeah, Hosea Burton he never had the power, the man strength to keep Bolotniks at bay. That didn't really surprise me, to be honest. I've never rated Hosea Burton as like an elite level fighter. Never rated him. Never rated him. Like, people were saying that Hosea Burton could beat Anthony Yard. I was like, what are you talking about, man? Hosea's got no chin, no gas tank, doesn't really have the power. Yard would kind of just walk through that guy. Might lose the first couple of rounds, but yeah, Yard is too strong and too big for that. Not too big, sorry, too powerful. Nordic sticking by his guns, man. Yeah, that's a good point, Nordic. That is a good point. Now Charlo's beating Derevyanchenko. I'm sure those guys are calling Derevyanchenko like an all-time great to make Charlo look better. But listen, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. Ian Ward, how can I watch the Golden Contract fight still? Do you know what, Ian? It's either going to be on Sky Sports or YouTube, because MTK they've been putting a lot of their cards on YouTube recently. So it's either on YouTube or Sky. That's all I can say. It's one of the two. It's not going to be anywhere else. It's not going to be anywhere else. Hopefully it's YouTube, because that's going to be great. Oh, is the Golden Contract on both, G-Man? Yeah, because the Hosea Burton fight was on YouTube, Ian. That's a Golden Contract fight. That was on YouTube. So, yeah, fingers crossed O'Hara Davis McKenna's on YouTube, because that's a very good fight for free to air stuff. Yeah. Andrade versus Charlo versus Teixeira pay-per-view 2021 doubleheader again. Yeah, to be honest with you, MMA champ the GOAT, I think Charlo beats Andrade. I've never rated Andrade like that. I think the guy is exceptionally overrated as a boxer. Technically, he's overrated. People call Demetrius Andrade a technician. I do not agree. Demetrius Andrade is just awkward. He's lanky, he's rangy, he's awkward. If you look at his punch technique, particularly in like wide punches, he slaps with hooks. His timing's not particularly great. He's inaccurate. He's wild. Demetrius Andrade is not a great technical boxer. He's just very awkward. I think Jermall Charlo is a better technical boxer. He certainly throws shots in a more technical manner. He lands with the correct part of his glove. And I could see Jermall Charlo timing Demetrius Andrade with his right hand, maybe throwing a right hand over Andrade's low jab, because Andrade throws the jab from low and he brings it back down. I could see Charlo timing Andrade with a right hand over his jab and knocking out Andrade. Yeah, I agree. MMA champ the GOAT. Yeah, I agree. Charlo knocks out Andrade. Yep, I agree. I've never rated Andrade. I've never rated him. We saw the Jack Cole Kai fight in Germany. He gave Andrade real problems, and he hurt Andrade. Vanes Martirosyan, he dropped Andrade. I'm telling you, Andrade is there for the taking. He's living of this boogeyman reputation when that's not couldn't be further from the case. Andrade's never put himself out there, in my opinion. And by the way, people always say about Jermall Charlo ducking Andrade when he got offered that DAZN money. That is true, but people forget that Andrade ducked Jermall Charlo back in like 2014. That fight was signed, and Demetrius Andrade pulled out. People forget that. So yeah, I'm not feeling Andrade at all, to be honest. I don't like Andrade. I'm not a fan, I'll be honest. If he does something good, I'll give him credit, just like I did for Charlo's. But until then, I'm not interested, to be honest. Really not interested. Demetrius Andrade is Tommy Hearns without the skills, awkward but ultimately flawed. Oh, fuck me, Liverpool have equalised already, Danilo D. Mane. Yeah, exactly, Nordic. Yeah, Jack Cole Kai gave him all sorts of trouble. All sorts of trouble. You know, Andrade was out of his comfort zone, went to Germany, and he looked terrible. That's the truth. He looked terrible. I think he's there for the taking. I really do. Like, if I was Golovkin, I'd look at Andrade and say, do you know what? I'm going to take that fight. I'm going to take that belt. Because even Golovkin right now at 38, well past his best, I would still favour Golovkin to beat Andrade. Still. I really don't think he's that great. I really don't think he's that great. That's just my opinion, though. Maybe Andrade is one of these guys who maybe steps it up when he goes up a level. Those fighters do exist, but I'm not convinced by that, to be honest. Adam Scott, I think it's still good that Billy Joe didn't fight him. It was not a good style to beat Andrade. Yeah, that fight would have been horrible on the eye as well to a lot of people. I think that would have been a nip and tuck type of fight. You know, both guys flicking with a jab, looking for openings, but not really doing much. I think that would have been a low output, low drama fight. You would have enjoyed it while it was happening, but you wouldn't have like wanted to watch it back. That's how I would have seen that fight going down, to be honest. That's true. Yo, I thought. Hang on, who did I believe Martirosyan beat? Was it Charlo or I thought he lost one of those fights legit, and I thought he won one, but I forgot what way around was it? Did I think he beat Jermall Charlo or Andrade? I forgot, but yeah, I thought he won one of those fights, but I forgot which one. To be honest, I forgot what one. Ugh, can't fucking speak. The spring break card on DAZN really didn't impress me. Tevin Farmer Diaz fight was better. Yeah, that's true. Yep, it's very true. Yeah, DAZN are coming back soon with a bit of content by the looks of it in the States. They've got Roman Gonzalez versus Israel Gonzalez. That's a decent fight. Israel Gonzalez was the guy who fought Kal Yafai and lost, but basically got robbed in Monaco. Gonzalez beat Kal Yafai, and he got robbed. So yeah, that's a decent fight. Yeah, Vanes Martirosyan in his day was a very good fighter. Well schooled, done the basics very well, good straight punches. He was one of those fighters who never really got his credit, to be honest, and he never really got the opportunities that he deserved. I actually felt he gave Lara a lot of problems, especially in that first fight. He gave Lara a lot of problems. Yeah, man. Yep, went the distance with Calton Dokwa. Yep, exactly. He actually got dropped against Calton Dokwa, but it wasn't counted as a knockdown for whatever reason. So yeah, I'm not sold on Andrade's chin either, to be honest. I'm not sold. Can Tszyu versus Josh Warrington. Is that signed yet? If that fight is signed, that's a hell of a fight. That's a hell of a fight. Can Tszyu versus Josh Warrington. Neither guy can punch, but both guys are aggressive and both guys throw a shit ton of punches. So yeah, that's a good fight. Yeah, Vanez got knocked out by Golovkin, yeah. Yeah, Vanez got knocked out by Golovkin. Yeah, Andrade's best win is Willie Nelson. I think you can make the argument. It's either Willie Nelson or the Polish guy, Selecki. It's one of those two, I would say. Or Martirosyan, if you count that win as legit. Yeah, Usyk Chisora, Ubali versus Donaire, Brook versus Crawford, Tio versus Loma, and AJ versus Pulev. I love that Ubali versus Donaire fight. I really do. That's a great fight. That's a great fight, man. I really hope Donaire can like rewind the clock one more time and pull off a victory. I really like Nonito Donaire. The guy's a class act. He really is. Absolute class act. Very good fighter as well. Never ducked anybody. Never ducked anybody. Michael Stacey, yeah, that's the fight that has to happen next. Jermell Charlo versus Patrick Teixeira. Yep, that's the undisputed fight right there. The only problem is Teixeira has to fight Brian Castano, who's his mandatory. And to be honest with you, I think Brian Castano beats him. So I think the real story is going to be Jermell Charlo versus Castano. And Castano's a better fighter than Teixeira. I'm convinced that Castano beats Teixeira. Convinced. Pigeon Cowden Beef, he says, if Chisora catches up with Usyk, it could be tasty. Yeah. Chisora cannot live with Usyk in terms of pure skill. He can't live with him. So his only real option is to make that fight physical, try and get on his chest, even if you're not working, lean all your weight on him, try and drain him out, be a bit dirty, be a bit rough. That's all Chisora can really do. He needs to slow him down somehow. And that's by being physical, being rough, making it a real hard night. Because Chisora can't box with Usyk. I think we all know that. He can't live with him. So he needs to make it a street fight, basically. That's what he needs to do. Yeah, I agree, Nordic. Josh Warrington is a very good fighter. He's a guy who has been, he never had a great amateur background, but he came through the levels the right way. English, British, Commonwealth, European, fringe world level, then world level. Josh Warrington was built extremely well. And that goes to show proper matchmaking, taking time with your fighters, giving these guys hard fights on the way up can only benefit them. It can only give these guys benefits, man. But we see fighters these days get bumped up in rankings by beating absolutely nobody, and then they'll fight somebody for a world title when they are completely inexperienced and overmatched. We've seen that so many times. Guys like Josh Warrington are an example of how to build a fighter, in my opinion. Delboy, he says, MMA champ, the GOAT. Who wins? Julio Cesar Martinez versus Chocolatito. I would still go with Chocolatito, to be honest. Still think he's a bit too seasoned for Martinez. A bit too seasoned. But it'd be a very good fight. That'd be a violent fight. A very violent fight. That's the sort of shit we need to see, man. So do I, St. Britt. I keep on thinking Josh is still with Warren. Yeah, because he was with Eddie, then he went to Frank. Now he's back with Eddie. Hopefully Josh fights this year because he is bang for buck. I was saying the other day about Josh Warrington. I would once all the crowds are back, I would love to go and see Josh Warrington fight. Even as a Man United fan, like his Leeds fan base are amazing. His entrances are top notch. Just a great environment, great atmosphere. Sorry, Josh Warrington fights. Great atmosphere. I'll be singing along, man. I'll be singing along to the lead song. But yeah, hopefully we get Josh in there towards the end of this year against Kanzu. That'd be a great fight. Man like OG Del Boy, big up to Levi Khan, out there in NYC. I got you on the Dorticus Briadis fight. I told you, man. I told you Briadis was going to school him, but you got me on the Duhaupas one though. You got me on that one. You said that Tony Yoka was going to destroy him, and that's what happened. I thought Duhaupas was going to go rounds, maybe even make it a bit tough, but nah, never happened. Never happened. You're United. Yeah, exactly, bro. But yeah, I'd love to go and see Josh Warrington live. I would love to. Yes, apology, man. Big up, man. Big up. Not seen you for a while, apology. So hopefully you're doing well, man, during these crazy times. Staying in the gym, keeping yourself active and whatnot. Hopefully you're doing well, mate. I've not heard you on BDA for a while either. So yeah, man, good to see you, man. Good to see you around. Definitely one of the best on here, man. No doubt, no doubt. Yeah, fair play to Briadis. He's too good for Dorticus. I underrate the Latvians. Yeah, man. No, that's no worries, man. No worries, man. We get some right, we get some wrong. I mean, I got the Yoka one horribly wrong. I really felt Duhaupas was going to test him, but wasn't to be, man. It wasn't to be. Oh, was you at that fight, Nordic? Interesting. Yeah, I need to go and see one of his fights. That atmosphere is just amazing. Oh, you went to Warrington Selby? Yeah, that looked a very good event. The open air stadium in Leeds, Ellen Road. That was a really nice day as well. I remember that day because, it was like on a May Day, and that day I got a fucking parking ticket, like 70 quid. So I always fucking remember that day. I was fuming. 70 quid, yeah, for basically going in a car park by mistake and coming out again. I didn't even park. I went in the car park and come back out, and I got fucking fined 70 quid. I was absolutely seething. Absolutely seething. Couldn't believe it. I was fucking fuming. G-Man Boxing haven't been to a live fight in over a year now. No, I've not been to a live fight in bloody hell. Mine's well over a year. When was mine? Fuck. It's been a long time, I'm talking like 3-4 years. I used to go to a lot of fights, but I just stopped for some reason. I just stopped. The worst experience I had going to fights, I would say, was arguably, I would say, Eubank Jr. versus Eubank Jr. versus Billy Joe Saunders. Sorry, that was the worst experience I've had at a fight. Just fucking fights everywhere. Everyone's fucking coked up to the fucking gills. Just a crazy night, man. Really crazy night. And that card ended so late as well. It was Fury Chisora after Eubank versus Billy Joe, and that fight must have ended around 12 o'clock at night. It was crazy. But yeah, man, Frank Warren shows in general, in my experience, they're not always the greatest, to be honest. There are some characters there, put it that way. Put it that way. Yeah, me too, Pigeon. I didn't go to the fight. But I was unhappy as well that Bellew won. I was very unhappy. Mainly for me, yeah, it's down to nostalgia. Being a David Haye fan as a kid, one of my favourite fighters. But yeah, man, I was fuming. Absolutely fuming. St. Brit Sports, fuck's sake. Michael Stacey, you should aggressively ask for likes and subs to pay for your parking fine. That's how Blue Balls gets his haircuts and food paid for. Fuck's sake. But yeah, man, I was so mad that day, man. £70 for basically going in a car park by mistake, not parking, coming straight back out. That is crazy. Crazy. I think I remember that video, Nordic. I think I remember. I'll have to watch it again. But yeah, that fight was ugly, wasn't it? That fight was ugly. Simon Coulthard, was it one parking solution? I'm not sure. All I remember from the letter, it was like, had some yellow like border yellow and red border and shit like that. Like, yeah, I don't know who it was, but I was so fucking mad. That's the thing in this country now. Like parking, you can't park anywhere in towns these days. You really can't. Everyone's out to get your fucking money. Crazy. I went to Ryan Garcia fight in Anaheim, California when he KO'd Fortuna just before COVID lockdown in the USA. Was also at his after party. Nice kid. That's interesting. Interesting. Did you watch the John Real Casemiro fight? He's one of my favourite fighters at the moment. I love rewatching him putting a beating on Edwards. I think he'll lose to Inoue in a competitive fight. Yeah, apology. I saw Casemiro. Oh, for fuck's sake, go away, man. I'm gonna answer this in a second. If it rings for ages, I'm gonna fucking answer it. I ain't gonna answer it. You know, fuck off. Del Boy, you named after Chisora? No. Del Boy is actually my nickname from when I was like at school, like years and years and years ago. Basically, in the UK, Del Boy is like a wheeler and dealer kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, like a wheeler and dealer. So you sell shit and whatever. Put it that way. It's Pigeon Del Pickup. I don't get this, you know. I've never had phone calls on my landline since I've been here. And I've been here just over 2 years. And I've had 2 in one night. That's crazy. That's crazy. Fucking joke, man. I can't be asked to fucking... No, I just answered it. Apology. I just answered it. Was it the Casemiro one? Jesus Christ. 1 second, lads. That's done. I just picked it up and put it down. Fuck that. Yeah, apology, sorry. Yeah, the Casemiro fight. Yeah, I watched it this weekend. Yeah, against Duke Mika. Yeah, really good performance, man. Really exciting. I agree with you as well. He's one of my favorite fighters as well. Certainly one of the most exciting fighters in boxing. Comes to fight, goes for the knockout. What's not to like? And the Edwards fight, I agree. As for the Inoue fight, I also agree. I don't think he's going to get blown out. I think he's going to give Inoue problems. Casemiro can punch. He's awkward. He's experienced. The guy's been around. He's not going to get bowled over. I'll be very surprised if Casemiro just gets blown out by Inoue. Hopefully that fight happens next. That's the fight to make it at bantamweight. Definitely. But yeah, Levi, basically Del Boy in the UK is like for wheeler and dealer. So you sell shit. You sell knockoff, not knockoff goods, but you sell shit. At school, I used to like buy cigarettes and sell them for £1 each, and amongst other more risky stuff. But yeah, Del Boy is just a childhood nickname, basically. 65-year-old looking for a fill. It's Tony Bellew on the phone. Telling me to leave him alone. He telling, fuck's sake. Why do British politicians wear wigs? No, they don't. They don't. Do you mean like judges? Yeah, it's judges. Somebody calling you to tell you that she's HIV positive. No, I've never been. I never got caught. Never got caught. Well, at school I did for like selling cigarettes and that, but I never got caught with like risky shit. If you catch my drift, never. Never. I've never been to like prison. I've never been arrested, anything like that. Which I'm kind of lucky about, really, because we've all been through like dumb phases in life, yeah. And yeah, I'm no different. So I'm lucky, really. Maybe I was just too smart. I was a smart criminal. I'm talking shit. I was lucky. I was lucky. I was very lucky. Is getting caught with weed a capital punishment in the UK? Nah, I think what is weed now? Is weed Class A or is it Class B? I forgot. But yeah, it's ridiculous, man. Liverpool 2-1. Okay, I'm not surprised. Yeah, Arsenal are going to fall to bits now, aren't they? They're going to fall to bits now, aren't they? You can see it coming. You can see it coming, man. Absolute joke, man. Absolute joke. No. Justin, not really. Even when I was fucking about Major back in, well, not Major, but I got messed up with the wrong people. But not really. Not really. One day I plan on making a little podcast or a little series just going through previous events in life. The only thing is, in this country, there's no statute of limitation. So I don't want to say too much. I'll change it around, make fake names, basically, and I might tell it that way. But there's some really interesting stories that I've got to tell. And yeah, I'd like to do that at some point. I'd really like to do that. Maybe that's something for a second channel, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure, to be honest. Yeah, same, Nordic, yep. Used to sell gear in the toilets, yep. Yeah, man. See, my school wasn't that bad. It wasn't great, but it wasn't terrible. But the last year we was there, it got like the worst Ofsted report in like the county. So it got worse as I was there, but yeah. Mate, you already said you could get arrested for it. It's too late now. Well, maybe I was just humouring you, Justin. Maybe I was just humouring you. Dell was a criminal mastermind like Artemis Fowl. Oh, Christ. Yeah, bro, Enzo Macronelli. Some of his knockout losses were brutal. I remember the one against Robert Frankel, the German cruiserweight. He fucking levered him, honestly. And that guy, Frankel, he never fought again after that fight. Never. Madness. I was at a shitty state high school. Farmers, smackheads, and weirdos. Yeah, bro. Smackheads and weirdos. Yeah, Lebedev as well. Yep, Lebedev knocked him out. David Hay, Dmitry Kucha as well. Frankel, yeah, he got knocked out brutally many times. Macronelli. Many times. I checked out for bars in Cowden Beef on Google Earth today. I need some kind of therapy. For fuck's sake. Oh, shit. I could do with a fucking pint, mate, to be honest with you, Pigeon. I could really do with a pint. Be lovely right now. I've not had a drink in like bloody 3 weeks now, to be honest. Done pretty well, man. Done pretty well. Del Boy was friends with El Chapo at 14. Fuck's sake. Yeah, Enzo does seem like a really good dude, actually, on social media. He seems really, really good. Replies to people. He's always respectful. I think he's a pretty good commentator as well, Enzo. He's a pretty good commentator, in my opinion. Seems like a nice bloke. When is the Blue Collar and Pigeon special? Maybe coming soon, man. Maybe coming soon. Maybe coming soon. You never know. I'll definitely have people on the channel again, but right now, I'm just keeping shit solo, just for right now. You know, there's just been a load of fucking like drama online and shit like that. I just can't be arsed with it, mate. Honestly, do you know what I mean? Not saying that Pigeon brings that or anybody brings that to the channel, but right now, I'm just keeping it solo, and I'll come up with a format for when people can come on. Yeah, I need to figure a few things out before we get people on, basically. But yeah, it's not a shot at anybody, but yeah, I'm just keeping it as it is right now. Nice guys finished last. That very often is the case, Michael Stacey. Very often is the case. We've all been there as well, where we kind of put people over and help them out when the time is to return the favor. A lot of these people won't be there, so you've got to be very careful for who you give that sort of energy to, because Yeah, man. We've all been burnt that way in at some point in life, right? So just got to learn your lesson. But and that's the difference between nice people and realists. Like nice people are going to keep on getting burnt and burnt and burnt. I'm a nice person, but well, I like to think I am, but I'm not going to make the same mistake twice, kind of thing. I had like 15 Modelos and one Don Julio on Saturday for the fights. Yeah, man. Sometimes it's nice just having a few beers and watching the boxing, man. No doubt. The beating Enzo took against Lebedev was shocking. His head swelled up like a balloon. Same against Bramer. Yeah, that's true, Nordic. Yeah, that Lebedev fight was brutal. Mm. Yeah, I do like Enzo. Yeah, he's a nice dude, man. Nice dude. Anyway, lads, I am going to wrap this one up. Just a real quick one, really. How long we gone for? Hour and 15 minutes. Yeah, I'm going to wrap this one up, lads. Thank you guys for dropping by. Just a real quick one. Like I said, I'm going to try and do one of these a week. Basically, I've done it. I've done it for this week. You might get a second one at some point, but yeah, the back end of this week is going to be very busy with work. But yeah, I think we're in a new quarter next month, aren't we? So yeah, you might get one more this week, but hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Big up to you guys, man. Peace.